Alright, so now we got Grounded 2. Instead of a backyard, it looks like we're in like a place like Central Park or something.
We're so proud of Grounded. What started as a small passion project to make a quirky game where you're shrunk down to the size of an ant, trying to survive in a backyard, grew into something way bigger than we ever imagined. Over 25 million of you jumped in, explored, built, crafted, and fought off giant bugs together. Y'all helped make the entire experience
cool
very
concept.
special to us.
Never played it,
The
but it always
team's
seemed
been
like a
cooking
cool
up a ton
concept.
for Grounded 2, and we're so excited to talk about it. And to grease some palms to steal a bit of time from the direct to give you a deeper look. There were so many possibilities and ideas that didn't make it into the first game, so with the sequel, we have the chance to dream bigger. To achieve those dreams, we partnered with the amazing folks at Eidos Montreal. Together, we're taking Grounded from the backyard to an even larger world, the Brook
Do they do
Hollow
it themselves?
Community Park.
Yeah, they're like a
When we started
playground
working
now.
on Grounded 2, we knew that we wanted to make a bigger world. Fortunately for us, Eidos Montreal became our main partner on developing Grounded 2.
Why can't they do it
have
themselves?
a lot of similarities to the sorts of things that are important to us at Obsidian. They
It's a
tend to
weird
make
partnership.
very narratively strong games. They make games with really deep characters and great character progression. They make games with great gameplay.
Everyone at Eidos Montreal is thrilled and honored to be working with Obsidian Entertainment. Our two studios share a lot of DNA. The
Is
same
Xbox
things
about
that are important to
Eidos
Obsidian
now?
Entertainment are important to us. Choice and consequences,
Watch them,
player
Xbox about
communities,
Eidos now.
and doing justice to great IPs and great franchises. The fact that we're the first partners that they're working with to make a sequel to their franchise feels like we're an important part of their history.
The events of Grounded 2 take place 2 years after the first game. The same 4 teenagers are returning.
So there's Max, Hoops, Willow, and Pete.
They're a couple years older, which means they've gone through a bit more high school, a bit more mature. It's 1992. The world's a little bit different, but we're still in that fun, nostalgic
was
era
4, I
of the
think.
early 1990s. In Grounded 2, we're moving the action out of the backyard and into the Brook Hollow Community Park. Not only is it
Bigger, more expansive
it allows us
world.
to tell a lot more stories and expand
More
the world
bugs.
of Grounded by exploring what the community of Brook Hollow has been up to and what they've been through.
The park overall is about 3 times the size of the backyard, and our initial starting area is actually the same size as the entire backyard from the first Grounded.
Damn.
The reason we wanted to move into a park wasn't just to create a bigger world, but was to give us the opportunity to explore the community of Brook Hollow and what secrets have they been hiding.
What we love and what we're excited about in terms of the park is the opportunity to create environments and landmarks that are mundane at normal size, but are colossal wonders when you're the size of an ant. Everything from a giant trash can to a community picnic table or a snack
Yeah,
bar.
it's actually pretty cool.
All of these areas come to life in a brand new way.
Part of the fun in Grounded 2 is that the park was evacuated really quickly right before our teens were shrunk. And that means that the park has been sort of turned upside down and is in a topsy-turvy state. And
Show the
that
spiders.
leads to really fun environmental
They
storytelling.
had a
but it also
slide on here. You
leads
could turn
into
the, if you had
creation of
arachnophobia, you could turn
amazing
it all the way up, or you can
biomes
go all
for
the way
our
down.
characters to explore. One of my
If you go all the way
favorite
down, it's like I
examples
think
of
like just like a
this is the ice
ball or
cream
something,
cart.
like a circle.
In all of the commotion, the ice cream vendor's cart has been knocked over and its contents have spilled out into the ground. And what this means for our young adventurers is that they'll be able to explore this frozen cave of interesting challenges and colorful Lovecraftian horror.
That's pretty neat.
We have one anthill that's actually somebody decided to bury a bunch of toxic stuff in the park. And so there's all these toxic chemicals
Mutated ants.
underground. The environment looks very cool and very spooky with all of these sort of chemical pools. And of course, nothing can live down there except for one type of insect, the cockroach.
Asmon?
We're oftentimes reinventing environments, and in future updates, you're going to see a ton of new stuff. You do a lot of fighting against
They
insects
should do
of
Grounded
all shapes
DLC in
and sizes.
Asmon's house.
We didn't just want
Oh,
it to
that'd be
look
awesome.
better. We also knew we wanted to add a new layer.
Imagine
of
that. That'd be.
The
Have him in the
changes
game
that
too,
we've
like
made
you can go
aren't
around him
limited
when
to
he's
tuning
streaming.
animations,
That'd be
or
fucking great.
adjusting attack or defense numbers, or making characters or
Imagine
insects
that,
move
Grounded
faster
DLC
or
inside
slower.
Asmon's
Well, we
house.
did all that too, but there's
Or even his
also
backyard.
an entire sort of rock paper scissors strategy involving light attacks, heavy attacks,
Obsidian, if you're
and
watching,
blocking.
that's a great idea. Get on it.
We've also added dashing as a new way to both get out of danger quickly or jump in for a quick attack. And almost all the insects in the game will have these abilities now too. Sort of like a chess match, but one that's super frenetic, looks super cool, and is ultimately just a ton of fun. We're leaning into clear playstyles for tanky warriors, low defense, high damage rogues, effect-wielding mages, and ranged hunters. In the first Grounded, we have mutations, and there were weapons and armors that favored different playstyles. In Grounded 2, not only will there be passive mutations, but there will also be active mutations. And a lot of those mutations support these archetypes.
My favorite way to play pretty much any game is chasing after those game-breaking builds. And that's why I'm so excited for what we're doing with archetypes in Grounded 2. I'm all in on the rogue. Now, you can even dual-wield daggers. I've been dialing in this glass cannon build that stacks ambush, assassin, and cardiofan mutations with the wolfbane daggers and the wolf spider armor. It lets me open up combat with massive backstab damage that also
Cool.
inflicts venom. Then, I can use the extra stamina to reposition and try to dodge, rinse, and repeat. It's high risk, high reward, and absolute chaos in all the best way. I'm looking
awesome.
forward to seeing what wild combos the community comes up with and what they inevitably break once they get their hands on the archetype system. It's going to be awesome watching it evolve with player feedback and watching us try to keep up with all of your game
Yeah,
breaking
it seems really
builds.
cool.
One of the great things about Grounded
Fort
is
building.
the variety of players it attracts, from builders to crafters and everything in between. If you've ever watched me on Casually Grounded livestream, you'd know that I'm neither. I am a murderer of insects. Personally, I prefer the term harvester. I love going out, hitting things, and bringing the materials like insect body parts back to my friends to use.
And you build up your
This
base
way,
with it.
we keep progressing and playing together.
We're also trying to make sure that armor and equipment are easily understood by the player, especially when they're playing co-op
make it simple.
with their friends. It was really, really important for us to deliver on all of that for the bigger space and
It's an old-fashioned
experience,
saying,
because
keep
that
it
was
simple,
the only
stupid.
way we could truly support the feature the community has been asking for since the very first Grounded release.
Ride the
Mounts.
insects.
Our mounts, we
That's
call them
pretty fucking
buggies,
cool.
have an entire suite of moves and have their own special abilities and attacks.
We really wanted the buggies to be an extension of the player in
It looks
every
like
way
Negan.
possible. And that meant making sure that buggies had unique and valuable abilities across all the core pillars of Grounded. So that doesn't just mean exploration and travel. That has gameplay implications for combat, crafting, and building as well. Just like how we wanted to expand on player playstyles throughout the game, we're going to make sure that every buggy that we add has its own personality.
The Red Ant Soldier can enlist up to 2 Red Ant workers to follow you around and help you out. If you get into combat and you don't want to fight while you're saddled on your buggy, you can jump off and they'll fight right alongside you and provide support.
That's cool.
The Orb Weaver buggies are a little less useful when it comes to general utility, like building a base or harvesting, but they're awesome when it comes to combat. Sure, their defenses aren't super strong, but they're heavy hitters. They're also super fast, and they have
Might
some
actually
great
check this
special
game out.
abilities, like a scream that allows them to stun lesser-powered insects, and the ability to shoot webs and entangle other creatures. So the Orb Weavers won't be your base-building buggy. You should use the Red Ant Soldier for that. But they're super fun for exploration and combat. Red Ant Soldiers and Orb Weaver Spiders will
There
be
you are.
available at game preview launch. There will be others in the future, but those are the 2 we're starting with.
Both this and Outer
Connection
Worlds
that
2
our
are launching
Grounded
this year.
community has with us is something we want to keep forging with the sequel as we make an even bigger game than the original.
Pretty much from day one, we knew we wanted to return to game preview for Grounded 2.
Early
Sure,
access.
it comes with some trade-offs, like the game's not done and it's out to the world. But there's so much value in building it alongside the community.
Worked wonders for BG3.
Buggies change how you traverse and navigate the park. What we're doing with Grounded 2 is we're actually keeping zip lines held back so we can see how players engage with buggies, and then we can tweak zip lines to bring them back over time to really complement that buggy experience and make exploring the park far more fun. That kind of feedback loop helped shape the original Grounded, and we wanted to shape the design for Brook Hollow Park, archetypes, buggies, all of it. We also learned a lot from that first time around. One thing that stood out immediately: players blaze through our content, especially the story. That makes sense. Story, characters, world building, that's kind of Obsidian's thing. It's the flavor we bring to the survival genre. So this time, we're starting with a much bigger baseline.
There's been an explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers were miniaturized against their will.
One of our favorite parts of the first game was watching the community uncover clues and spin up theories. This time around, we're leaning even more into that, and we'll be keeping a close eye on what our players discover and how they interpret it. Because you never know what might inspire us as development moves forward.
We really started to hit our groove at the end of Grounded 1. We found that being open about what we were planning and then following through was key to building trust with the community. As a small team, we had to experiment with update pacing and scope, and what we found resonated the most with all of you were bigger, beefier updates, even if it took us a little longer to land. So that's the plan. Larger, more complete updates spaced out just enough so we can take your feedback seriously and make every drop
Smart
count.
move. Don't burn them
You
out.
can expect in our big updates new buggies, new biomes, new building pieces, all the good stuff. And we're launching with a public roadmap so everyone knows what to be excited about in the future.
All of us at Obsidian Entertainment and IDOS Montreal are super excited about how close we are to letting all of you players get shrunk a second time and explore the all-new park on buggies in Grounded 2. If you're a returning Grounded player, we're really looking forward to you experiencing all the improvements. If this is your first time getting tiny, then all I can tell you is that a world with an entirely new perspective and an entirely new feel awaits you in Brook Hollow Park. It's time to ride together and survive together.
Grounded 2. Out sometime this year. Outer Worlds, October 2nd. I knew it was going to come out in that time frame. July 29th. Oh, that's right around the corner. I think we already saw that earlier. Little Sizzle Reel ended out.
We have been expecting you.
Black Ops 7. I could care less.
That's where it starts. We can change
Not a bad
the world
showing.
as we know it.
Like a 7 out of 10, maybe.
Can you handle that? Let's do this.
Probably the best one we've seen all week, though, compared to the Summer Games Fest, State of Play,
Here's
the Future
plan in the mud.
Game Showcase, whatever thing that called yesterday, that was a buggy mess.
They send
This is
us
probably the best one out of all of them.
Here we go.
Man, I wish I'd just bring back E3.
Please follow me.
During E3, like, whenever they did a show, Xbox, PlayStation, EA, you're guaranteed at least 1 or 2 cool-looking banger games. Now we just get, like, State of Plays or whatever, just with a bunch of, like, B-tier games just to have something to show.
Keep your filthy pickers off me!
Wait till the sizzle rolls over, then I'm gonna head out. I got some things to do, and I'll probably be back tonight. I think I got away. I think I figured out how to fix streaming on the Switch too. I couldn't get audio to work yesterday, but I think if I run the link cable, the chat cable through the top of the headphone port on the Switch 2 into a, I don't know if this has a 3.5mm head jack, but the Pulse 3D headset from PS5 that was behind me. I wonder if I could plug that in and use it so that way I can get audio when I stream on the Switch too. So I'm gonna play the Super Mario RPG. So I'm gonna try that out after this. Let's test it, see if it works. If it does, I'll be live tonight with Super Mario RPG. If not, maybe over some of the stuff that's going on in LA. This will be fun to watch. Or both. Alright. Good show. Nice show. Good overall. 7 out of 10. Alright, guys. I will be back tonight. Have a good rest of your day.